Hi, my name is Jason Munchin, and today we're going to discuss data at rest, data in use, and data in transit. We'll discuss the differences between each one, how to secure each one, and different strategies associated with each data state. Before we do that, let's define what each one is. Data at rest is computer data that is stored on some sort of device, like a computer server, a hard disk, a laptop, a database, a file hosting service, or even a data warehouse. In contrast, data in transit, or data in motion, as it's often referred to, is the state of data as it travels from one place to another, generally within an internal network or across the internet. This can include things like email, collaboration platforms like Confluence and Jira, and instant messaging platforms like Slack and Jabber. Data in use is data in RAM and is actively being accessed by a software program or person. Think of files actively shared between employees. One of the biggest challenges companies around the world have is keeping each data state secure. Let's deep dive into how we can keep data secure in each state. When data is at rest, basically when data is being stored, the best way to protect that data is via encryption. What is encryption? Encryption is basically scrambling data that can only be unscrambled with a key. Imagine picking up a book and there are nothing but random numbers in this book, page after page of random numbers. It would be useless to you in this state. However, if someone were to tell you that each number correlates to a letter, like 1 is A, 2 is B, 3 is C, and so on, now you can read the book because you've unencrypted it using that knowledge as the key. This is a good example of how encrypting your data at rest will help prevent data breaches. Because in most cases, data is only useful when you can read and understand it. Therefore, encryption is a solid defense for data at rest. Now, let's consider data in transit. Data in transit is less secure than when data is at rest. Often protecting data in transit involves encryption as well. For many organizations, using encrypted channels like SSL, TLS, HTTPS, FTPS, and IPsec VPN are great ways to keep data in transit secure. In addition to encryption, organizations can implement network security controls like network firewalls and application firewalls to help secure data in transit. Okay, let's deep dive into data in use. Data in use is the least secure amongst data states. Data in use is generally unencrypted and easily accessible for employees to access, view, and modify. Also, in this state, there are higher chances for human error. This state isn't just threatened from hackers, but also insider threat is high when data is in use. Employees can intentionally or unintentionally expose data if they aren't following proper security policies. Data in use can also be exposed to threat by means of malware. Some good tips to keep data in use secure is using proper authentication and authorization controls. Identity management tools are helpful in that instance. Another good tip is enforcing multi-factor authentication whenever possible to minimize user credentials getting hacked. Organizations can also consider using file integrity monitoring solutions that can track in real time a sudden change to files, which could be an implication of ransomware attack. Another good idea is to have employees attend training periodically to ensure all employees are aware of company's current security policies and procedures for protecting data. The reality is, in each state, data can be vulnerable. Organizations will need to be diligent when implementing security policies to keep the data secure at all times. Key items to remember about securing data: encrypting data when it's resting, using encryption channels when data is in transit, and using solid authentication controls, implementing MFA, using file integrity monitoring, and always keeping employees up to date on proper security policies when data is in use. Following these guidelines will help any organization improve their overall security and decrease their chances of security breach. Thanks for watching and joining me today. I'm Jason Mungin, and I'll see you next lesson.